Welcome back to another episode of Strife Talking Points. Tonight I'm doing a kind of a late night broadcast, I guess. And this is going to be over the latest episode of Vice News Tonight, which I believe will be one of the final episodes of Vice News Tonight. And I'm just going to take one of the stories they've got here and show you why and how Vice News is actually failing. As a news organization, they do not really follow up with stories. They are just giving you a single line look at an informational topic, and they try to push one side of the story while not looking at the other. And in beginning here, the screen you see right now, because I'm not going to play much of this video whatsoever due to HBO copyright, is that Trump is enacting his tariffs against China. He's currently stated there's $250 billion in tariffs going against China, and he's looking to raise that up, I believe, another 25%. And that's going to affect a lot of people because it's going to go up about $300 billion. This is a little clip here from Bloomberg. This is not from them. This is actually on Bloomberg TV. Sorry, volume.
Into recession, we never see anything like
tariff on another $300 billion in Chinese products. And American businesses are freaking out.
Yes, because they're going to have tariffs and they're going to have to start focusing back on America. One of the things that I can say about the tariffs that Trump has thrown out, you're seeing American manufacturing rebound when the previous thought was American business will never rebound, manufacturing wouldn't. And then you see the tariffs that have gone against Mexico, where now Mexico is clamping down greatly on allowing people to get through their country, and they're going to tighten their own restriction and essentially follow through with what let's say the majority of people in the U.S. are looking for, but definitely following through with what Trump's policy is.
it's possible that could tip us into recession. We never see anything like this in 75 years.
What we've had for the last, since let's call it the 50s, is Americans slowly but surely starting to outsource. It's been a big thing economically, especially through the 70s and into the 80s, is manufacturing in the West is dying. Push it all to China, let them make everything. We just import the lower price goods, and that's been the consensus of how to do business forever. And I don't know that this will work or not work, but what we're seeing is U.S. jobs are coming back after these new tariffs. You're seeing mills and plants and manufacturing responding to the U.S. because now with $250 billion in tariffs, that doesn't always translate directly to extreme hikes in consumer pricing, and it leads to some. However, you're starting to see jobs come back as part of that.
Right?
The Office of the United
Now, we're going to skip ahead a little bit to this guy. And we're going to watch a softball thrown to a man.
people who represent American companies and industries that sell everything from skis to bowling balls to cars and sneakers.
Now, the sneakers part is where this next gentleman comes in. He is a lobbyist for sneaker companies.
Are testifying this week.
Testify today because the fact that
No. President and CEO of Footwear Distributors and Retailers of America. What they are representing is this little piece here. 173 footwear giants, including Nike, Adidas, Converse, Under Armour, Foot Locker, UGG, Clarks, Crocs, Doc Martens, Keds, all these different brands here. You can go through and find these all your own. All these companies, which basically farm all their manufacture, all their processing out to China, are terrified that because of this upcoming tariffs on broader range of goods, this is going to affect their ability to sell in their retail stores. Now, the way the story is prefaced is around that every pair of shoes you buy will suddenly cost you 25% more. That's not the way that shoes are priced. Shoes, generally, when they come into a retail store, have a very limited cost. Let's say if you're paying $100 for shoes, those shoes probably cost into the U.S. $20. marked up multiple times, and then sold to you, the final consumer. What you will see is a lot of these companies, which operate almost exclusively as distributors and importers, will have a higher rate. That will actually give advantage to, here's a list of 75 brands made in the USA. Some of these I've never heard of. Chip and Boots, Cobra Rock, Danner, Double H Boots, Eastlands, heard of those. You can just see there's a list here. Finder.com, made in the USA shoes. Go check it out. These are made in everywhere from Hawaii, Florida, Georgia, Oregon, all over the place. I didn't realize there were this many companies making shoes in America. Honestly, whenever I initially started to research this, I thought there would be 3, maybe 4. However, I'm way off. There is a ton of shoes made in the US, ranging from boots to sandals, leather, sports shoes, all these different things. What you're seeing them go after are these big name, big money shoes that will actually have to pay a little extra. And they don't cover this in any way, shape, or form. They only discuss, of course, the negative side from the person trying to get this not to happen. There's no counterpoint. There's no other argument. There's nothing. It's just, this is what I say.
We already pay exorbitant duties.
Exorbitant duties.
$3 billion a year on footwear imports, $1.5 billion from China alone. And
so you just heard there $3 billion on this. How many pairs of shoes you're bringing in? How much is it per pair? These are things that you would hope Vice Media, Vice News would get into. They do not. He basically just gives you this look, talks about that, and then goes to...
I know one thing that won't work, and that is talking to them, because we've done that for 20 years. And if there's a better idea than tariffs, I'd like to hear it. I haven't heard it.
And there is no better idea. He doesn't give you one. He just says, continue the conversations, continue talking. One of the things that is going through America right now is that people are just kind of fed up with certain issues, certain ideas, and they want something to happen. And like it or don't, unfortunately, Trump is the only one actually pushing something through. And if China wants to avoid these tariffs, they will probably see a reciprocal trade agreement. And I bet if one does come through, Vice News and places like this won't discuss it positively. I've watched a lot of these videos, a lot of this type of stuff, and they never cover it. But that's just me. And as a final note here, as far as how Vice News does everything, I want to show you this. This is a little history on Vice News. Basically, April free fall follows closure of partner traffic program, but company attributes drop to temporary lull in content output. Basically, ending the digital publisher's controversial practice of rolling up website traffic for partner sites into an aggregated number. Basically, all of the Vice News sites, they were pushing them all into one thing and saying, hey, we get this many views. So after this, not only did Vice traffic drop by 49% in April, with the removal of rolled up Vice media numbers, but the traffic in Vice.com itself tumbled 18% to 33.4 million unique visitors, and then it rebounded a little bit, but still stayed much lower. Since they're no longer producing like that, you do see here that CNN Business, from just a week ago, HBO cancels Vice Media News Tonight, severing its relationship with Vice Media. I do see that as a direct response to these people not being an honest news organization. Get out there, get the sides of the issue, talk about what's going on. If you don't like the tariffs, say why you don't like the tariffs, but also include what the tariffs could do that could be good. Such as all these shoe brands that are made in America now have a extra leg up over these massive companies that are farming everything out. Like there's New Balance, that's all over the place. And you'll notice a lot of the companies that are fighting back don't even seem to sell these brands. Now, I haven't been in a Foot Locker in a decade or better, so I don't really know what they sell. And unfortunately, that's just part of getting old. Anyway, please like, share, comment, subscribe. If you guys do enjoy the video, I can do a separate one because right here at the end is one of the more interesting people out there. Gotta find his picture. I can't find it. Give me just a second. There he is. Dean Cain, Christy Swanson. You got Superman and Buffy the Vampire Slayer on the same stage doing a play. So please like, share, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And if this does well, I will try and make the second half of this, because what Dean Cain and Miss Swanson are doing is extremely interesting and one of those things I wish I could see, but I don't live anywhere near a city, so probably gonna have to wait for it to come out on like a fan cam or whatever. Thank you. Have a good night.